Alright, so we are in the garage today because that's just where I have a flat space to show off what we're going to be looking at. So I've talked in the past about how my thrift shop of choice in town is owned by one of the largest churches in the area, and the benefit to them is that they get a bunch of not so much random stuff, but just everything. What happens is when a family member passes on, the family will go in, pick what they want out of the house, call the church, and then the church cleans out the house. It is a little crude, but a lot of families don't have attachment to a lot of stuff anymore, especially if it's like filled with Reader's Digest or TBN or As Seen on TV stuff. And you get some really wild stuff. That's where I got my glass and brass three-way lamp. And they had a pair of really badass vintage lamps a few months ago when I got that. But they asked $135 a piece, and I just did not want to give that much. Fast forward a couple weeks later, they were running 50% off on red tagged items, and I still didn't pull the trigger because I didn't have an extra 120 to go around at that point. So I was thinking today, you know what, they're probably long gone, but if they're down there, we'll get them. Because I didn't want to split up the pair. I didn't want to just buy one and split them up. So I got their red tags were 75% off, and somebody had split up the pair. So unfortunately, I only got one of the two. I really didn't want to see the pair split up, but at least I wasn't the one that split up the pair. So we are going to take a look at what is honestly one of the most badass vintage pieces that I have seen for a while. This is legitimately one of the coolest lamps I have ever seen. I'm guessing 70s because the smoked glass base was common to the 70s, but we've got, and it might be newer, but the bulb that's in the base does make me think it is definitely not like new. So you've got this beautiful red and gold base, all the ironwork, the chain, and on top of that then you get up to the shade that is just wild. I need to figure out how to clean it because it is dirty. It probably sat in somebody's house for a while. Not sure how to clean it, but we'll figure it out or forget about it, and 20 years from now it'll still be the same. Either way, we've got the gold stitching on the top and bottom, but we've got the outer shade that comes up and is tied off, and then the inner shade as well. Just super cool all the way around. We go up inside, we've got our bulb with a three-way connector. I wasn't sure. I was hoping it would have a light in the base. I took it apart when I got home and played with it, and it does have a light in the base. The only compatible bulb I have right now is one that was out of my brass and glass lamp, and that's not as bright as I would like it to be, but for right now, I'm good with it. And so it's still pretty cool. I'd like something a little brighter. I need to turn it upside down again and make sure there's not supposed to be a second one in there. But you can just kind of barely see there's a another glass tube inside. Just super insanely cool. And I'm not sure where, it's like, kind of can't tell. It like all looks red, but it all looks gold. Like no matter where you turn it, it's all like the same look. So I'm not sure where the red actually is. It may just be in the base, and it's just how the light refracts. But Similar to my hurricane lamps in turns, you've got the upper part on, upper part off, base on for the night light, and then everything off. So, like I say, hindsight's always 20/20. If you're going to spend money, spend it. But I wish I'd gotten the pair, but I at least got one. This thing is ridiculously cool. And I think it's going to go on the piano because there's really not very much light in that living room. Alright, so in the front living room, the only light is from the track and from the ceiling fan. And I've bought 3 of these track heads at Menards. The typical $15,000 LED. Well, the one that was over the bookcase is dead. The one that's in that corner is dead. And I've got another one that's dead. So 3 out of 5 did not last a year. So I'm not real enthusiastic about continuing to invest in that. So this thing is massive. It would probably be better suited over on the radio, but for right now it'll stay on the piano. And one of the cool things about this is that it's on the switch, and I think, especially from a distance, that looks even awesome. So I do think the bottom of it is tinted red, and the glow of the light in the base is really nice. Hopefully one day the other one will make its way to Thrift or Facebook. I doubt it. And it would probably be more than what I would be willing to give for it, but I think this is just super cool, and I'm glad to have it. So that bulb doesn't look too bad. I've swapped out all the bulbs in the house for vintage amber. I'm running with the much cooler color temperature. I've actually seen people say that those bulbs will kill you and you have to use 5000 K bulbs or else it's horribly bad for your health. I have had the exact opposite response. Switching to the vintage bulbs with the much cooler color temperatures actually helped quite a bit with my health. So see if I can find a brighter bulb for the base and then just pick up a vintage. So I am happy. I'm about as happy as the cat with a piece of cardboard. So thanks for watching. Keep on thrifting and we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and drop a quick update. I did do some research on the lamp, and according to eBay, it is Spanish Revival or Gothic wrought iron. A lot of people are using it interchangeably. There's 2 lamps that are similar. They don't have the red in the base or the light in the base, and they don't have as much detail with the wrought iron. But I would say that qualifies as what it is. 60s to 70s apparently. I would say it's probably valued in the $50 range. There's one person that's up that has one that's, I would say, a step above. They're asking $200, and it's probably going to sit for a while. So I would say that's probably where they got the $135 price tag, or they priced it that high knowing that that color was going to go on sale, and that's why they priced it so much higher. Either one is probable, but either way, not something I would have paid $135 for. $135 for the pair would have probably been right about what the pair would be worth. The shade is very ornate and has value in and of itself as well. plus trying to ship something off eBay, assuming it came in one piece, would be ridiculously expensive anyway, which adds to the purchase price. So that's a little bit of background what I found on that. I am kind of looking at hanging lamps now that kind of are in the same style. I want to put at least one hanging lamp back here above the sectional. I really don't want to. This section of the house does not have vermiculite above it, but it does have the drop ceiling, which I haven't decided what I'm doing with yet, so I don't want to go putting boxes in the ceiling to hardwire pendant lights. It is kind of a pain in the butt to find modern plug-in. They mostly want to hardwire stuff. Amazon has some stuff, but at the prices, I'd rather try to find vintage and keep with my vintage stuff. So I might hit the antique mall tomorrow. Probably won't find anything, but never know. It's still worth just taking a walk through and see what I see. Keep an eye on Facebook, because not only are eBay prices ridiculous, but you've also got really low odds at getting it there in one piece. And while eBay would give me my money back, that's not really the point. It's getting the piece in is more of the point. So, but that's what I got. I just wanted to give an update that I did do some research on them, because somebody is going to say, well, I Googled this and in 2 seconds I had everything to ever possibly know about it. You're an idiot who's just lazy. No, these don't work that way. There's just not a lot of info out there. It's kind of weird, because you'd think, maybe this stuff wasn't sold en masse back then, or a lot of it was thrown away in the 80s, because in America in that time, once 1970 hit, everything 60s was out of style, and if you were hip, you got rid of it all in the trash and bought new stuff. That's why a lot more 80s stuff has survived, because people started having less money around then. But hopefully I'll find something that I like at a price that I'm interested in, and we can get this corner lit up, because it's really, really dark when the kids want to sit over there. So there's just not a lot of light in this house in general, and I'm working on remedying that in as vintage way as I can. So thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you next time. Yeah, I know. One more update. So I did do a little changing around. I stopped at Menards and picked up a couple vintage bulbs. I picked up a 15-watt LED nightlight style bulb. It was thin enough to fit through the hole, and it's about twice as tall as a C7, so it gives a lot more light on the base. And then I also grabbed a vintage bulb at 2100K for the upper, and I think that gives it a much more natural, old school style look. So I am going to go ahead and finally wrap this video, maybe.